Hey there, welcome to your Lion's Gate portal reading for August 8th of 2021. And it can be any Lion's Gate that you come across in your life. It doesn't have to be the one for 2021 if you happen to come across this outside that time frame, because as always, the Creator and Spirit are not bound by time and space. And so if you're drawn to this message, then there are messages for you. But if you are coming across this on August 8th of 2021, then the portal for the Lion's Gate this year kind of opened up around July 28th, depending on where you're at in the world, and is going to close around August 12th. Now, the August 8th is when the portal is the widest open, and when like the activation and the energy is just so strong. That's where, this portal increases the cosmic energy that's flowing between the physical world and the spiritual realm. So it just really opens up this portal where it's like the veil is very thin and we can communicate between those. And then amongst all that, also, there's the new moon in Leo is at its height today as well, at 7:50 a.m. Mountain Time, so depending on where you're at and all that. I do a special reading for the new moon in Leo, so that'll be linked at the end of this video here if you want to check that out as well. It'll be under the new moon, full moon readings. So if you want to check that out, just jump on over there after this one. So what is the Lion's Gate? And I love these cards here by the White Light Oracle, because it just really shows this beautiful, beautiful lion. And we'll talk about Ishtar's Lion Gate 888 here in a second as well. But what is the Lion's Gate? There's this special cosmic alignment when the sun happens to be in the sign of Leo, and the star Sirius rises into this special trajectory with the Earth. And in looking at the Lion's Gate, some information was talking about in ancient times, Sirius, the star, would match up with like the Great Pyramids, and it would do it on July 26th, and that is what Egyptian considered their new year. Of course, over the thousands of years, our systems kind of change a little bit, so those exact dates have altered a little bit. But with the sun in Leo, which is the ruler of the heart, and then Sirius, the star, bringing in all that extra energy, the veil is thin, so we can have a heightened connection with all the higher realms. Now, the symbols of the gate, the lion, and also the 8-pointed star, which, 8 is, of course, August. All of that also points towards ancient references to a woman priestess who is named Ishtar, which is all this about this Ishtar Lion's Gate. And she's considered like the goddess of the planet Venus, so like Leo's in charge of the heart. The goddess, Ishtar is of the planet Venus, which is about love. But she also had this sacred relationship with the star Sirius. And I mention all that because she's the queen of letting go, and she holds the keys to renewal from suffering. So it's kind of like the phoenix in a way where, from the ashes we rise up and renew things in our lives. And I loved when I was reading in this particular deck, it says, she is relentless in her pursuit of the path to true inner freedom. So the energy of Ishtar and the Lion's Gate portal gives us support in surrendering our attachments, letting go of identities like mother, wife, boss, brother, boyfriend, whatever it might be. And it draws us to spending time to ourself, focusing on the higher realm and our higher self that we are. So this reading that we're about to do is going to be part 1 of 2 parts, actually. So this reading is going to be about what you're ready to surrender, or you're getting ready to surrender. And then part 2 is going to be coming in September. I'm going to be doing some autumn equinox readings, which will focus on what's falling away to make room for the new, fall, autumn. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So what's falling away to make room for the new? So to make sure you don't miss out on any of those, if you haven't already, click on the subscribe button down below and make sure to hit that little bell icon and you'll get an alert when those are posted. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in to the reading now. All right, Capricorns, this is your Lionsgate portal reading, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from these Power of Surrender cards. Of course, this reading is all about what you're ready to surrender or getting ready to surrender, or what the Creator wants you to know about what you're ready to surrender to or from. And so we're going to pull a card here and see where we begin, and then we'll pull some additional cards just to see how that energy ripples out into your journey here. Creator, for our Capricorns, what do you want them to know about what they're ready to surrender to or from? All right. You got surrender to setting limits. Look at that. Stop. Just stop. And it says, it is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. So yeah, surrender to setting limits. So not being afraid to say no, not needing to have an excuse to say no. And I know in the beginning, learning that power of no is a huge thing. Sometimes you just have to start off by saying it in your head first and not doing it outside of you just to make it feel comfortable. And then you start off with little things. And giving excuses, sometimes we lie, don't we? No, I don't feel good tonight. I'm just going to stay in, when really you didn't want to go do that thing, but you didn't want them to feel bad or to judge you or to never invite you to anything again. So many fears attached to that no. But eventually when you connect to this confidence inside, and we'll probably talk about that in here, and we'll ask how that confidence comes, but it's generally about where we're attaching our worth to, and if we're attaching it to something out here or to something within us. And that allows us to, as we detach less to the outside things defining us, then we are able to set boundaries and limits, because we get to that point where our fears get outweighed by this feeling of always having to do what you think everyone else wants you to do, trying to fulfill all these expectations rather than being able to do what you want with your life instead of living your life how you think others want you to live. So the fear getting rejected gets outweighed by these ugly feelings of not being what you want to do and who you want to be. And then that's when you make change, when you and at first, if you've been having it bottle up, it can come out as no instead of no, thank you. So give yourself grace as you transition into your power of no. We're going to pull some cards here from this Naked Heart Tarot and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about surrendering to allowing yourself to set limits. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Capricorns to know about this surrendering? Okay. And this too as well. Yep, you've got the Sage here. So this is like the Hierophant in the regular tarot. And so what that represents, because the emperor before puts restriction on humans living their lives, all the roles, all the no, should, supposed to's, need to, have to's. And the Sage is all about, this is how your spiritual life is supposed to unfold and what you're supposed to do, and yada, 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 yada. So it can also sometimes represent a spiritual teacher coming into your life. But again, when it's surrender to setting limits, there's almost this opposite message of, but don't limit yourself in the process. The boundaries and stuff that you set, understand what are the boundaries that you're setting and why. Not just setting them because of your supposed to's and shoulds. A lot of spiritual, roles and rituals and all those things are beautiful. And I never organized religions. They're a beautiful part of our journey and the adventure here, because a lot of times that's the only way we're even introduced that there's higher power. It's a good place to ignite our personal relationship with the other side. Sometimes they will overemphasize their roles and that you must meet them to stay apart with them. And that can be part of your surrendering to setting limits as well, is that you're like, what? I want to be able to, live my spiritual life the way I want to. If you want me to continue to come to these meetings, then you need to back off and allow me to be flexible. And if people are like, no, you must obey, then you get to decide, then maybe I won't just be back. And that's okay. And that's about saying yes to you and no to things that you don't want to obey anymore, that you don't want to restrict you anymore. And of course, there's always cause and effect. I always say that you never have to do anything you don't want to do, but there is cause and effect. So if you go out and murder someone, chances are you'll get either murdered back or you'll be taken away from everyone else into a place where other murderers are, called a prison. So, there's always cause and effect. And it's on how we set our boundaries, like I mentioned. It doesn't have to be no, it can be a love from a place of love, that not at this time. I appreciate the invite though. Please keep in mind for the next one. That's a way of saying, no, I don't want to go to your damn party, So it's about how we communicate our boundaries, not necessarily the boundaries itself. Oh, beautiful. And then you have Earth Mother. And so this is usually the Empress. This is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. Time to take care of you. Really, it's times for new beginnings, new things. She's very flows with emotions. So it's time for you to take care of you. I really feel that. And that's what comes before. So the Earth Mother, or the Empress, she's the number 3 in the major arcana. So she's the free-flowing freedom and, kind of picture the 60s flower children, free love and being love and just no rules, man. It's like more free-flowing like that before the society comes in and restricts, and before the Hierophant comes in and restricts spirituality. So it's really this, opposites here. It's like, yes, be you, and I love this imagery too. It's be you, don't be these rules, right? So don't be the book of rules, be you, the beautiful you. But it is definitely time for you and for self-nurturing. Yeah, the 5 of Wands. And here's the storm, the fire, the conflicts that come up. And just know that, and this could be with, especially with you saying no, that some of the conflicts may come up. And that's okay. It's expected. You just don't have to. It's like when you get invited to war, you don't have to accept. It takes 2 to battle, right? It takes 2 to tango, 2 to battle. So if they shoot arrows, just allow them to bounce off of you, because you get to define what their attitudes and opinions and actions mean about you. They might, say things out of pain, because when you say no to someone, it's like when someone says no to you, I mean all of us by that, human you, human us, tends to take it personally about our worth. Well, if they don't want to go out to that movie with me, that's because they hate me and then I'm not good enough and blah, blah, blah. And so our fear ego kicks in and we either fight and defend. So, I didn't want you to come anyway. You're not a good friend. I don't even know why I talked to you, like, or they flight or flee and withdraw and give you the cold treatment, right? So if that happens, just know it's not about you. It's about their inner pain, and just give them love. That's all you can do, and if you want to interact with them, you just work that out with them, right? And just say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, to hurt your feelings, or, and FYI, you can't hurt anyone's feelings. No one can hurt our feelings either. We get a choice to be okay with what they're saying, to be happy about what they're saying, or to be unhappy about what they're saying. And that's always our individual choice. And as I mentioned, we make it an easier or a harder choice by how we communicate it, but ultimately it is the other person's choice. It's hard for them to be happy about us telling them no, and we yell no at the top of our lungs with other expletives along with it, or it's an easier way for them to choose to be happy with our no when we're loving about it, right? So that's what that's all about. Yeah. And here you are, a beautiful star in the sky. It's important. This is like the card of hope, but there's also, understanding that in order to see who we really are and see the stars, they come out at night in darkness, not out during the day when the sun's out, unless something horribly has gone wrong and there's a star close enough that's blowing up, we won't see it during the day. So, just understand that, with you choosing you and nurturing you, like with this Earth Mother card, that your self-love and standing up for what you want and living your life, you fill up with love, and that self-love grows and grows. You can only love anyone else as much as you love yourself. So if you only love yourself like this much, then that little hole is the amount of love that you can give to others, and also how much love you can accept from others. So growing your self-love is healthy for everyone, because you're going to be able to give love more to other people and allow other people to give you love more. And in that's really where this bright, shining star really makes itself known, right? In the dark world that we live in of conditional love and chaos, everyone trying to find love and trying to live their dream, and being disappointed in the external, unstable things of the world. Finding unconditional love and this beautiful, bright hope within us becomes a beacon of light for everyone else too. I know when we start standing up for and not doing things that we don't want to do, other people are like, I wish I could do that. And like, you can. Why are you afraid? And they're like, well, I'm afraid I'm going to get rejected. Well, I'll tell you what, if you say no to anyone else or no to me, I'll still be your friend. So practice saying no. You'll always have me as a friend. And then they're like, oh, sometimes that support will help other people, set boundaries and start living the life they want to live instead of the one they think everyone is wanting them to live. Which, of course, later we find out that's not what they were thinking at all. It's all these perceptions in our mind. And when we start setting these limits and boundaries and start proclaiming our own truth, then, it changes our life and it changes other people's lives. I'm reminded of this story of there were these 3 people that were lifelong friends, known each other for like 30 years. And like 20 years earlier, they had went to this beautiful place together that was like 3 hours away from the city they all lived in, and had a blast, a wonderful time, best dinner ever at this restaurant. And it was just a really grateful time. And then the next year when that time frame come around, they decided that on a certain time of year, every year, they were going to go to that restaurant. And so they did for years and years and years. Well, one of the friends stopped appreciating going there as much as before, and was like, really, it's not worth it for me anymore. But they continued to go because they didn't want to disappoint the other people. Finally, it became too much, like I talked about before. So finally, it becomes too much. You're like, I don't care anymore. I have to say something. So like, you know what? I really don't enjoy going there anymore. Can we maybe choose going somewhere else now? Somewhere closer? You know, we drive 3 hours, we eat 3 hours back. It's really exhausting, and it just isn't what it was before. And the other two were like, oh, thank God we haven't liked doing that for years either. No one wanted to speak up. So it took one person speaking up to go, oh. So there's your story. All right. We're also going to pull a card here from this power deck. It's the Cards of Wisdom. And we're just going to see how this energy from this Lion's Gate portal just ripples out into the rest of your life. How is it going to impact you? All right, Creator, what else do you want our Capricorns to know about this surrendering to limits here? Okay. Surrendering to setting limits. Okay, thank you. And here's the card here. And it's called Innocence, card number 9. I'll show that to you and then I'll read it. And it says, a boat can represent your voyage towards the islands of higher consciousness. The boat is made from the treasured innocence. We're all born wild and innocent like a blue heron, or like the Earth Mother I was talking about. To live in civilization, at a very young age, we become like sheep, trying to fit in with the crowd. To maintain your receptive innocence is to listen to your own inner voice. Know that the powers of the universe are within you. Yes. So yeah, that's definitely reverberating this, what we're talking about here, you know, moving back to your innocence, you know, like you're talking about with the sage, you know, the Hierophant and the Emperor. That's civilization having us become like sheep so we fit in instead of setting boundaries and doing what we want to do. So totally in alignment with what we were talking about here. I'm also going to pull some additional cards here from the same deck and see what else the Creator would like you to know about this return to innocence. I love that because that's, you know, that is Mother Nature. It's like nature is so innocent until we try to make it be and do what we think it's supposed to do, right? It's like when you go for a walk, instead of enjoying the beauty of the flower, you try to Google and see what type of flower it is, and what's the name of it, what's the history of it, blah, 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 blah. Instead of just, don't try to define it, just enjoy it for what it is. And then it's a totally different feeling, right? All right. Creator, what else do you want our Capricorns to know? Whoa, okay. Nope, they said that was just me being wild, so sorry about that. What else do you want Capricorn to know about this? Surrendering to limits and innocence, freedom, free to be you, free to make your own decisions for you. And I want that one too. Let's get the Seven of Pentacles. And so this represents taking time, having patience as things unfold in the outside world. The Pentacles are like the outside world, and the Seven shows you like, okay, things are growing on the trees. They're taking their time. Just, understand that roots are growing, fruit is growing. It takes time for things to unfold the way that you want it to. So really a message of being patient with yourself as you go through this process. There's always this Zen saying that comes to mind with this, which is chop wood, carry water, which is just focus on the next moment, the next moment, the next decision, the next no. Just focus on the next no. Don't worry about all the no's in the future. Just focus on the next no and just be patient with yourself as you adapt this new superpower of yours. Because trust me, once you start using no, you kind of go overboard with it in the beginning. And you even start to say no to things you wanted to do. It's kind of weird, but it's powerful and it balances out over time. Yeah, you got the Six of Swords. Swords are all about your thoughts, mentalities, mindsets, beliefs. And the Six of Swords is about moving from one way of thinking to another. So you're leaving old ways of thinking behind. And this is a beautiful movement. And again, a turtle, so slow movement. Don't worry about it being this fast change and I got to make this change, da 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 da. It's like, give yourself the space and the grace for this new way to unfold. And then you have the Tower. And this is a message of, not destruction, but of things falling away. Things that will be moved out of your life and removed out of your life that no longer serve you. And the reason why this is coming up for you is because this is that time in your life where these things are being removed. These things that no longer serve you, the things you no longer want, you're going to start setting boundaries and limits on those. And this is being done for you, not to you. Now there is another message that comes with the Tower, which is, all these situations and circumstances in our life, we asked for those before we came down here. We determined our birth and our transition date, or as I sometimes call it, our death scene of this character that we're being here on this planet. We have all these situations that we want to experience in life, and we still have the free will. We get to determine, going to take it to extreme fear, extreme unconditional love, or somewhere in between. We get to determine the extent that these events impact us. So there's still that flexibility with everything. But we also have situations in our life where, like, this event, I need this either relationship, situation, job, possession, whatever. This needs to leave my life on this date. This is the absolute last date so I can experience all these other things that I want to experience, after it. But start telling me here, we have the opportunities. We start getting the message, let that go. Let them go. Leave that job. Sell that house. Whatever it might be. We get this message over and over again, and it gets louder and louder and louder and louder until finally we hear and it gets removed for us. And it's not happening to us. It was our request to have it removed for us. So, when those things happen in our life, we just can look at it and go, okay, why was this happening for me? And then you got the Spirit of Cups, which is the King of Cups, which is all about unconditional love and love fulfillment flowing out. This can be referred to as like Christ love, or, it's just that beautiful, beautiful love that is unconditional from the Creator of all things. So, it's definitely connecting to that. One of the things I had mentioned before about, how do we make that transition to defining ourselves from the inside or from the outside? When we're defining ourselves from the outside, that's when we have all that fear and that angst, and we feel like we have to say yes to everything, or we get rejected, and we fear that rejection. Well, this unconditional love that we find within our heart, this beautiful star, this beautiful brightness that lives within our own heart, that's the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. And so whenever I get the King of Cups, it's always an indicator for me from the Creator and from the other side that, yes, finding the love from within is what allows you to feel safe to say no to things on the outside. Because when the King and Queen of all things loves us unconditionally, who cares about what the rest of the kingdom thinks, right? They're all extra. All their feelings and emotions and gifts are extra. this is what fills us up and makes us whole. So we can take it or leave it. And so we're okay with setting limits. We're okay with saying no, because we have nothing to lose, it's just extra. And so if they're like, well, I hate you, I don't want to talk to you again. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I love you. I'm here if you ever want to talk again. But you're not like, oh, no, I'm going to do everything you want me to do, and I'm at your beck and call, and I'm your mat that you could just walk all over. That ends when you find this connection to the Creator, to the Mother and Father of all things, to the spirit world that loves us unconditionally. We're also going to pull another card here from the Energy Oracle cards and see what additional message the Creator has about this beautiful Lion's Gate energy that's flowing into your life, along with the Leo new moon energy, which of course is Leo, ruler of the heart. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Capricorns to know about this energy for Lion's Gate? All three. So you got the Sun, which is in the major arcana is all about fulfillment and love and coming out of the darkness, and they usually have like a child riding a horse running out of the leaving the garden, so it's allowing yourself to be you and to be free, which I love for you. And then you have Woman holding a heart, which is number 44, Queen of Hearts. So really becoming the queen of your world and of your own love. And then you have the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel, number 41, which has to do with your crown chakra, which is how you communicate to the upper worlds. So what we're going to do here, we will read from each one of these. So number 1, the Sun, is about new beginnings and great creativity. So definitely some new beginnings coming for you, which totally makes sense. So the Sun brings blessings to the earth, and this card portends blessings in your own life as well. Just as the Sun nurtures the earth, bringing new life in the spring and summer, this is your time for a new beginning, the onset of a nurturing new light in your life, the light of divine inspiration and personal growth. So definitely this Earth Mother energy that we were talking about here, the nurturing. This card often marks a time of great creativity, bringing the culmination of an important new project, such as the birth of a baby, or the writing or publication of a book, or even the birth of a new you, which I really feel this is emphasizing. It's general reading that others could be for you, but I really feel the emphasis is on a new you. So now is the time to put your energy into expressing your truth and vision. Visualize the light of divine love pouring into your heart and mind like the rays of the sun, bringing inspiration, growth, and abundant blessings. See the future you want to create and know the sun is shining on your intentions now. I love that. And then we'll jump to number 41. And like I said, this is about spirit connections, intuition, and inspiration. So the beautiful angel Uriel, also called the fire of God, wears a brilliant crystal crown vibrating with passionate connection to the divine. She brings great power to your 7th energy center, which is called the crown chakra, and is located at the top of your head. So this card indicates an open and free-flowing channel of information and inspiration from the wonderful beings in the spirit world. This could also be a time of great intuition for you and guidance from your higher awareness, so allow yourself to quiet your mind and listen. Now is a great time to get connected. The assistance from Spirit is great, and whether it's the presence of an ascended master, a powerful angel like Uriel, or just a loving friend or family member in spirit, Their love and willingness to assist is always there. They even open you to the Akashic records, or the Alaya consciousness, the storehouse of all information. So this connection is open now, and you will find that your own spirit and the spirits of those around you will be able to provide the answers you seek and the blessings you desire and deserve. So yeah, definitely about connecting to the spirit world, right? And then lastly, we'll read number 44 here, which is a female dealing with family, love, or emotions. So the woman on this card wears a butterfly in her hair and holds a lovely large heart in her hands. For a woman, this card upright could be a reflection of your own state of peaceful emotion and receptivity for love, or it might be a message that your family issues are going to resolve. You're an intuitive woman who understands the emotions of life, and you're bringing that awareness to all that you do. This card could also indicate the presence of a female friend, teacher, or confidant who is here to help with issues of love, family, or emotion. This is an even-tempered and caring person who resonates with you and your emotions. It could also be a new love interest or friend coming your way. I'm going to read the reversal on this too. So this card also can indicate a state of being emotionally overwhelmed, and you may feel as though your love life is turned upside down. It could also refer to some difficulty in a family matter or close friendship. In this case, it's time to let go and resolve things now. There's also a possibility that, this is someone who brings negative emotional influence to your life. There may be jealousy, resentments, or even more subtle manipulations going on. So don't take things personally, but endeavor to bring great clarity and calm self-empowerment to the situation now. And always remember to bring your loving, heartfelt energy to yourself. And the affirmation for this card, it says, I am emotionally calm and peaceful, and I attract healthy and stable people to me. And I really feel like just the combination of all these, this is the new beginning, the new you that says no, that confidence and that security come from your connection to the higher realms, like we talked about. Connect to who you really are, become you, connect to the King of Cups here, that beautiful creator of unconditional love and light. And really, this talks about a lot of heart emotions and struggles going on. And for some reason, when I pulled this card, I saw the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, off with their heads, off with their heads. She was big, she was bold. We don't have to be as mean as she was, but she followed her heart, and she created, again, the queen of your own kingdom. I just really feel like you get to be the queen of your kingdom, just, not as a extreme, like the Queen of Hearts, but that you get to rule your heart, and you get to make these decisions for your life. All these troubles that you're having without setting boundaries just breeds resentment in your heart. And trust me, people can feel it. If people invite you to a party and you don't want to say no, and so you go anyway, you're usually not like, hi everybody, you're usually like, I'm here, now what? They can sense your energy that you have. And so when you go do the things that you want to do, you have so much more energy to input in there, because you're not investing energy in things that you no longer enjoy, right? All right, so I'm going to pull some more cards here and see what else the creator would like you to know. All right, creator, what else do you want our Capricorns to know about this ripple effect of this beautiful energy of no? Okay, any others? Okay. And last pass, any others, please. Yep, so you got the Seven of Wands. This is what, when you tell some people no, this is what you might get. The Seven of Wands, to me, is kind of like this. People try to burst your bubble, you know. They try to make you do what they want you to do, and you can find yourself feeling defensive too. So, you know, when people do this, you don't have to do that back, like we talked about. It's just about giving them love and you know, just learning from how you communicated your no, to maybe adapt it in the future if you feel inclined. If you don't mind the, you know, from other people, you get to do what you want to do. But, you know, if you feel like, well, I didn't really, after a while, I don't enjoy that. Okay, how am I telling them no? Let me just, sometimes, you know, like it says, no is a complete sentence, but out of compassion and love, if you can tell people, I'm not saying need an explanation, they want to understand that it's not personal against them, that you're saying no, you know, and so you just make it about you, right? Because you can say things, yeah, you know, I'm really not feeling up to it. I just feel this call for some alone time, but I definitely appreciate the invite. Please invite me to the next, or hey, maybe you and I can go grab dinner next week. You know, if it's something that you didn't want to do, but you want to go do something with them. I'll offer an alternative where, you know, if you feel like it's going to be more loving to do that, then, you know, by all means do that. Yeah, because here's the Three of Swords. This is disappointment. Expectations equal disappointment. When we have all these supposed to's and shoulds and need to's and have to's, it just pierces our heart. And this is all that disappointment. And that's what, you know, connecting to this higher place allows us to move more out of these supposed to's and shoulds and need to's and have to's, into living the life that we truly want. Yeah, because here's the Magician. This card shows you that you have everything you need. It always has all the pentacles and the wands and the cups and the swords. It shows that you have everything you need in your life, that whatever you focus on, whatever you're keeping your eye on, that is what grows. So whatever you focus on in your life is what expands and grows. So, you know, you focus on what you do want, that grows. Not focus on what you don't want and you don't want and you don't want. So you can say no to things that you don't want, and you focus in your energy on things you do want, and that just, it's a transformation. Yeah, and you got your balance. So it's all about keeping this beautiful balance in life. And yeah, a good message is try not to go overboard with it. At first, it's hard not to, I tell you, because then you're just like no to everything. But it's this beautiful balance between the spirit world and the physical world, you know. And that's always this wonderful feeling. Not extremes, but kind of somewhere in the middle is always a nice, comfortable place. But it does get boring in our lives. That's why we like drama and extremes to come into our life at different times, right? But it is a wonderful message just about keeping this balance between the earth world and our higher world. Don't be so involved in our earthly avatar experience that we're in chaos all the time, but also so heavenly minded that we're not any earthly good is the other extreme. So it's this beautiful, we came here to live life and to experience life. So still experience life. But I love how this is just that you can do it on your own terms. And you can say no to the things that you don't want to say yes to. And lastly, we're going to pull just a few last cards here from the Everyday Tarot, just for your final message and what the Creator wants you to know about this ripple effect of this beautiful energy. All right, Creator, what's your final messages for our Capricorns regarding this saying no, setting some boundaries? Okay. Nope. Okay, just that one. I was going to take more, and they said no. And they're like, they said no. They're not afraid to tell me no. All right. Yep. Because you got the Page of Wands. So the wands are all about your drive, your energy, your excitement, your just that spark that's within you. And the page is about messages. So you're going to get messages. It can also mean like from spirit. So usually I get this. It means you're going to get messages from spirit. If you want to listen to connect to them, they definitely are going to bring you messages and signs and answers. But this is also, a page is like a child, a younger person, and you have that energy that comes back in, just that full of possibilities, full of energy, whereas before you were so drained trying to do everything for everyone else. With you setting boundaries and focusing in, like we talked about, on the things you do want to do, you have so much more energy to do that. And so you will notice that in your life. The Five of Swords is, don't focus on the people that are disappointed in this change within you, because that's okay. Not everyone's going to like it. And no matter what you do, sometimes people are still going to choose to be butthurt about it. And there's nothing you can do. No matter how nice you were about it, you can give someone the entire world and they can still choose to be unhappy. And so just know, don't take responsibility for other people's reactions to your actions. Just as that other people's actions to you, your reactions to those actions are yours to own, not theirs. Like, well, they made me feel this way. No one can make you feel any way. People can do things, and then you get to choose whether it's going to be neutral or going to be of fear, and like fight or flight actions, or of unconditional love and loving actions. Yeah, because here's the Queen of Swords. This is all about, swords again are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mental attitudes. She holds the sword here, meaning she has her own thoughts. She still has her beliefs, but she still has her hand open, which means she's open to new thinking and new things as well. So, which is a good reminder when, we don't have to reject everything from the outside world. We still just take things in, but we get to decide whether it becomes part of who we want to be and how we want to act or not. We're the ones that determine our beliefs, our thoughts, and what things mean about us in the world. No one else. So I love that for you. Now, just a reminder, this is just part one. You've got part two coming up in the beginning of September. I'm going to be putting out fall equinox readings, and where this is all about, what you're ready to surrender to, of course, with it being the, autumn equinox. That's about things falling away, like leaves off of a tree, but it's what's falling out of your life, making room for the new. So to make sure you don't miss those, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and click that little alarm bell, and that'll make sure you get notified when those readings do come out. And if you do enjoy these types of readings, give me a big thumbs up there, and that just lets me know what type of readings people really enjoy. And if I, see people are liking a certain type of video, then I'll ask the creator, hey, more of these. What would you like to talk about next? Type of thing. So if you feel so inclined, go ahead and do that for me. But just as you go through this beautiful energy coming out for this Lionsgate energy, just know every second of every day that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. And I love you too. Enjoy this amazing energy, and we'll talk to you soon. You take care.